The glitch point. All right, so we're obviously shooting or recording on a Thursday.
Yep.
Yes, a Thursday. It's supposed to be Wednesday, and now it's Thursday.
Yeah.
But funny how that happens. Yeah, we just couldn't quite get our act together this week for some odd reason, one way or the other. But no week is left behind, so we are not going to miss it. So we will do our Monday episode normally, and then we'll just this one's been pushed so
Yeah.
to today, which is fine. Spencer got a cute little puppy, so that's pretty cool.
I did.
Yeah. So and he also or what do you call it? You built a garage, but you
I did. I sheetrocked a garage. That's why
sheetrocked.
we did not podcast on a Monday. So
Yes, sheetrocked. The family always takes precedent.
yeah.
So yeah, when your parents ask you to do ridiculous things, you kind of have to say yes. um, yeah. So I mean, we're a little late to the party, but although we're going to talk about Gamescom because that was our intended topic, which was very relevant for our Monday podcast, but. I still think it's interesting, and I still think that we can have unique things to say about it, even though it's been probably chatted about by everybody else, but who cares?
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck it is the way of the show. And we will also talk about the new Mario. What is it? Mario 3D All Stars.
Yeah. Big deal this morning.
Yeah, yeah. So that happened this morning, which is pretty nice that they're continuing on this lineage of my childhood.
Yeah.
So
Actually, to touch on that, it was nice until, and that's why I'm curious how you feel about this. They announced that it's a limited time game, not just physically but digitally. So you can only buy it until March of 2021, and then it will literally be off of the Nintendo store.
I didn't know that. So this is the little surprise that you were
Yeah.
gonna. Okay, so
Yeah, I'm curious how you feel because that I don't think we have ever. I mean, we've seen things like limited run games who they make indie games into physical versions for a little bit. That's understandable, but literally, Nintendo will take this game off of being able to be purchased in March of 2021.
you know who does this?
Who? I
Disney.
mean, yeah, Disney with the Vault. Yeah.
Disney does this. This is a freaking vault. So it's like it's the same. And I don't know if it worked for them. I think it did. I think people
Oh,
like
it did
freaked
for a
out
while. Oh
about
yeah.
it's coming out of the vault. It's
Catch
coming
it
out.
before it goes back in.
I'm surprised. I mean, the only thing is that no one else thought about this, which means is this going to be trending, which would be terrible.
Yeah,
Uh,
I'm wondering if Nintendo's like considering moving this forward if this goes well. I mean, it definitely hit the internet with a storm and everybody panicked, bought the game. I mean, tons of people pre-ordered the hell out of it because I mean, when they first said that, I thought it was like limited physical and I was like, "Oh, I collect them, so yeah, I'll try to pick up the copy off Amazon." But then when you read further, no, the digital version will be limited as well.
well, it's a little odd because the first question is could anyone else do this other than Nintendo, the big dog at the party?
I don't
Um,
think so.
and it's because it's old release. I mean, I suppose you could do this with Halo, and like only the really large franchises could do this. Like Mario is obviously a huge franchise, so I mean it's kind of like a vault-ish thing.
Yeah.
You could have done this with the Master Chief collection, I suppose, but I don't know why you would.
No, and I mean, in their defense, like this is not a remaster. This is literally three ports. It's the N64 game. Like
Oh,
the game is the exact same game, except for I think they added 16 by 9 support, which like that's awesome for one. But
yeah.
so again, like it's not a remaster like we thought, and these games have been out for a very long time. So like they didn't have to do this, but it's just really weird. I mean, you're gonna have secondhand copies, and God knows how expensive those physical copies will get one day. Thank God I pre-ordered mine this morning. But
Yeah, that's true. I mean, it definitely could become a collector's items. The digital thing's a little weird though because I don't know. I mean, that means there's going to be if there's glitches or so. I mean, I guess they're old games and they're just literally just ports. But
yeah,
is anyone going to give a crap about this after it releases and then gets pulled from the store?
yeah, and it just seems so weird that like at it's just a weird thing to do at this point in the Switch's life cycle. Like it's very popular, everyone loves it, and Animal Crossing made like billions of people buy it. So it's weird that they would put a game like this that tons of people want to play behind this barrier to like yeah, if you just can't afford to get a Switch from today until March of 2021, which is like right before tax return, and Everybody always splurges. You're fucked. You're never getting this game unless you find a secondhand physical copy.
Yeah. I mean, it seems like something that they should put. What is it? The all the NES games on the Switch. What's that called? Switch Online.
Oh
Nintendo
yeah,
Switch Online.
yeah.
It just, I mean, that's kind of where I think these should be. Like, I don't see why they wouldn't be there, rather than trying to. And maybe that's the whole thing. Maybe that's why they're going to pull it so quickly because they'll pull it and then they'll put it on Switch Online.
That'd be very interesting. Maybe yeah. If this was their way of saying like, hey, we're bringing 3D games to this whole free games a month, that would be bomb.
Yeah,
But I don't know.
because I think that especially for old content, I don't see why they wouldn't follow suit with every other company out there and try to do a streaming based system. Or at least I don't know how Switch Online. I don't
Yeah,
think
but
I've
like,
seen it since.
when's the last time Nintendo did something that everyone else was doing?
Well, I mean,
They
online play, I
definitely
guess.
have their own beat that they follow, for better or
Yeah,
for worse.
that's true. I mean, there are some things that they do that I don't know. I mean, or I wish they would do. Especially like I wish they would get their online act together, because there's certain things that I think need to be established and done a certain way. And I think that a lot of these streaming marketplaces, because they do have a streaming marketplace. I don't know, is it streaming? I don't even know.
No, no.
It's not.
Oh,
Do you
no.
download the games? You literally they couldn't stream NES games
Yeah,
and
no,
SNES games. Well,
no.
that's stupid.
Yeah, I mean, again, Nintendo's always been way behind the curve on online. Like, you can't even party chat or do any. Like, the only way to game chat in Animal Crossing is to download the Nintendo Online phone app and join a lobby on the phone app and talk on your phone.
Wow.
You might
That's
like it's like why the fuck would you do that? You might as well just tell people go call your friend.
Well, no, I mean, like I remember in all the old consoles, trying to get together with Mario Kart or any of the games, and you're like literally trying to figure out your friend's like ID number that's like 25 numbers and
Yeah.
letters just to be able to connect to them. It's like, what the hell is going on? Like, why are we still doing it this way? But yeah, I guess they don't really care because their products. I mean, what makes Nintendo is just the games are so great.
Yeah,
So
like no one's really complaining too hard that they can't join in on like a game lobby or anything like that.
I mean, I think for
Probably
Smash and
someone.
other things,
Yeah.
I haven't really done very many online sessions on the Switch, so I'm not sure how that
Yeah, me neither.
pans out. So I'm not the best to talk about it. Yeah, you know what? Let's see. I mean, this is interesting. I just hope that other people don't try to do this also because if it shows to be popular, people follow Nintendo. Nintendo might not follow everyone else.
Yeah, I mean, like, I think this is like, it's gonna work. I think it's already worked. People are buying the shit out of it. Everyone's like, oh my god, I have to buy this because it's going away. Like, that's the limited time run thing has always worked in terms of like selling products. But like with games, I honestly feel like there's no other game that could do this because it's a re-release. Like, you couldn't do this with the new game. That just doesn't make much sense.
But
And then it's
are
you
these
gotta be
games?
big like Nintendo.
Is it just that they're all three together? I mean, is that what makes them special? Because don't these exist? They don't exist in any form.
I mean, technically, no. Like these games, the only way to play. So, I mean, you could always, like put it on an emulator and go down that route. But if you want to play it without that, yeah, you have to have your GameCube or your Nintendo 64. I guess you could play Super Mario 3 or Super Mario 64 on your through or your on your DS, which has a port as well.
I mean, it's
Super
also
Mario
possible.
Galaxy is only on the Wii.
I know that they just brought back. It's just refurbished versions of the SNES Classic and the NES Classic. So they're like opening up to Nintendo developed refurbished or Nintendo refurbished versions of the consoles. So you can buy them again. Which was also limited. They only made
True.
a certain amount of those, and now they're reselling them. So maybe they don't want the competition. But those are just refurbished, so I have no idea.
I
I don't.
mean, see, I think that I didn't even like consider that Nintendo kind of tried this strategy already with those, and it worked there too. Everyone just ran as quick as they could to the store and got all of them, and they were sold out in a day. So
Yeah,
I guess they just thought, well, fuck, can we do it with this too? And yes, you can. But I just, yeah, other than like re-releasing of games, which is what the NES and the Super Nintendo thing did, I don't think you could do this with like a new game, and I don't think anybody else has the library to do this. Even Sony with some of the like greats that they have, I don't think that they can.
well, I think there's an element that if it was like, let's say it was just some sort of new company that was putting out a game or whatever, there would be people get pissed. I mean, this is the only one because you can literally get it for so many different. platforms, and like there are so many different options to play this. And literally, I mean, if you know what you're doing, you just download a ROM
Yeah.
and play it, and all these. So it's not, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, and
It's not such
I
a big
guarantee
deal.
you all of those ROMs that you can get through emulators have 16 by 9 support. So
Yeah,
yeah, I
yeah.
don't know.
So I think that they're able to get away with it, where I don't think another company would be able to.
Yeah.
I think if Master Chief Collection did this, people would be pissed.
Oh yeah, that'd
And,
be. Well, they almost did.
well, they have online play to it, and like people use that for streaming and the ability to compete. So I don't know. There's a lot of
Yeah, they
weirdness
did
there.
a. I mean, this was kind of. It's not. Isn't. It's similar, but when you bought the game at launch and it was a shit show and it didn't work and it was awful, they told you like if you played or bought the game before a certain date, you would get a free copy of Halo 3 ODST when it came to the Master Chief Collection. But if you didn't, you'd have to buy it later. So they did a similar thing, and people received that pretty well. But
Yeah, but
eventually, they just brought it all in.
that's not the same.
No,
That's
not
different.
at all.
But yeah, I see what you're seeing. I mean, that's happened before. Early purchasers,
Yeah.
pre-orders get special, things.
Yeah.
But that's a whole. I really miss. I hate that the only things they offer us nowadays are digital content. I really miss boxes, man. I know you're the same. I just miss
Yeah.
like getting the figurines. Those were the coolest things ever. I got like a Big Daddy when I pre ordered. I
Oh,
got the pre-ordered the box set. And what the hell's the name of the game?
Bioshock.
Yeah, BioShock. Thank you. Woo! All right,
I
so yeah, for BioShock, and that thing was so cool. It was like I had it on my desk and everything. There's nothing like that anymore.
Yeah, I mean, some companies every once in a while will, the big companies will come out with some like really great figurine. But yeah, I feel you. It used to be like every game had some cool physical thing you could get with it.
It just feels like everything's digital now. It's like all the incentives they give us are digital incentives, and it's just like great. I don't want
I
a
mean,
uniform or, I
get
mean,
with the times, old man.
it's like when it's a gun or it affects the game itself. I don't know if it's an OP gun or like an
Yeah.
OP something, and it's like, well, that stinks.
Yeah.
But yeah, sure. Them whippersnappers, they don't know what they're missing.
Yeah, and the other exciting thing that came out of the Nintendo Direct, I don't know if you saw, was the new Mario Kart Live.
No.
It's a new, I guess it's a new Mario Kart, but what it is you buy an RC car with a fucking camera on it, and then you buy these special goalposts and you set up a track in your living room, and then the Switch has a lot. It's like watching a GoPro live feed of your RC car, and it puts over like augmented reality type of like other characters and items in the game. So like it literally is like an augmented reality Mario Kart game where you just watch it on your Switch and you drive an actual RC car around your house.
What? That's so awesome. Yeah,
It's
I'm looking
pretty
at it right
fucking
now.
sick.
That is so
It is
awesome.
like I was like, what the hell? But this is awesome. I mean, the Labo thing was pretty
Yeah,
cool.
you saw all the Labo stuff. I saw all the Labo stuff too. Yeah, I was actually thinking about getting that for my nephew because it's like I don't know, it creates an opportunity for him to get involved with video games, but he's like 4, so he's a little young. But it's just like the camera I think is probably the coolest one, just to be able to sit there and like zoom and like I don't know, I
Yeah,
like it.
it's really impressive. I mean, if it works anywhere near as good as the demo or whatever the trailer, like that is phenomenal.
Well, I
It's
like that you can
really
do it in,
cool.
in both modes. Like you can have it in basically headset mode, or you can have it just so that you're looking at the screen and holding it out, like if it was a camera LCD
Yeah.
one, and specifically the bird flapping one and the other. I mean, the other ones are okay. I mean, the bird flapping one's interesting, but I do think for them it's a great introduction to a younger crowd because some of these games. I was actually doing this. I was buying a gift. I actually bought one of those refurbished, and that's why I know about it. SNES Classics, and he's 4, so like I literally can't put any games on there because they'll either be too complicated or they're too violent. And so they're where it used to be, and especially like Nintendo, it's changed a lot to where it's difficult for a young kid to be introduced to video games, and I think the Labo just helps that a lot. So
Yeah, I mean, I think that like yeah, people getting introduced if you're younger, you're getting introduced to what pop culture is right now. So like we saw like tons of young people get into Minecraft in the 2000s, and now the big thing is everyone's getting introduced to Fortnite. So we see really like 5, 6 year olds who are like into Fortnite, which is crazy. And then I think back then, like gaming, because it was a lot smaller of a thing, you didn't have these big like there wasn't these like giant cultural things happening in games. It was just all games are part of the same thing. So like you couldn't just get into like one game and call like and be and introduced to gaming. You just got introduced to whatever the hell games you had on the shelf. Which is I guess that's a good thing with the NES and Super Nintendo classics. Just give a
Yeah,
kid a random little old game and they're still fun today, in my
I
opinion.
mean, it's interesting to watch, because he's 4 and he just wouldn't be able. I mean, like he's still watching like cartoon, like the not the Yo Gabba Gabba, but basically that kind of stuff. Um, he's just not going to be able to understand, like cognitively be able to comprehend what's going on in a lot of these games. Like he couldn't play Fortnite. He wouldn't know what to do. Like he would
Yeah.
just, it would be way overwhelming. I don't know how a 5-year-old plays Fortnite, but maybe they can. Maybe 5 and 6 is okay. Maybe that's the turning point in which I actually, that's where I started playing video games was at 5.
Yeah, that's
I
about when I started playing.
yeah, but they were so much simpler, like games were just very easy. I mean, side scrollers, you just press right and maybe you die a lot, but it's fun.
So, yeah, I mean, I didn't have a console until I was like 6 or 7, and that's when I got the GameCube. So like the first games I was playing were like point and click adventure games on the PC, and then I think when I was like 5 or 6 was when I got to Medal of Honor and Doom. But
That's
whether or not that was a smart decision on my family's end, whatever. But my dad was huge into FPSs, so I've been bred for FPSs since I was a wee lad.
Yeah, yeah. No, I mean, and I think there is like once you hit a certain age, you can handle those things. But I think it's nice that they have because there is the 3-year-old, the 4-year-old, and then up to 5, where I think that's where Labo like because you want these people to be early adopters into the Nintendo franchise. If you can get them early, right? I mean, it's
Oh
like
yeah,
smoke. You can get them smoking at 5 years
Jesus
old.
Christ,
Like you got them
dude.
for life. You got.
Oh man.
But yeah, so maybe that's kind of their thought process because I'm so glad they're continually doing it because it is really neat, you know.
Yeah.
But I don't think we would bet. I would be bored with it in like 5 seconds.
What, the Labo?
Oh, yeah. Well, at
Oh
least the
yeah, I thought about getting it just for the collector in me, but then I'm like, am I really gonna start collecting cardboard? And I said no. So
the piano was really interesting. I thought the piano was probably the most generalized Labo.
yeah, that was really cool.
Yeah.
But yeah,
But yeah, okay. So Gamescom. I actually looked this up, and I am confused, my friend.
oh boy,
I am super confused on where Gamescom exists in the world. First off,
Germany.
it's Germany. I
Yeah,
didn't, which is odd in its own sense that it's a German based show, and you get no. It doesn't feel like that at all. I mean, they stripped Germany right out of that show. Um,
yeah.
the other thing is now it's what? It's an award show. It's a freaking like stream-a-thon. It's like a. Do we need 4 freaking days for this stupid thing? Like,
I
I
mean, so I think that Gamescom, because yeah, historically it was smaller. They've always had awards, but just like E3 has awards, like oh, it's the coolest game of E3 and stuff like that. So and like yeah, and then COVID made yeah, it definitely was a lot of streaming and everything. But I think that Gamescom is trying to be the new E3 because E3 is kind of dying off because everyone's like not going to E3 anymore. Microsoft was like the only one who really wanted to go.
well, they
So I
wouldn't
think
let
that
us.
oh yeah, okay. Before COVID happened, a lot of people like even last year's E3, Nintendo didn't have a big presence, Sony didn't have a presence at all, and like there's just a lot of garbage going behind the scenes of who's like running E3 and all of that stuff. So I think Gamescom is trying to be like, hey, what if we were the big show of the summer? Which it has games in the name, so I'm down. But
That's that all.
yeah, like I mean, E3 historically has been more about the consumer product side of things, and then it turned into more about the games in the past like decade. And Gamescom, from my understanding, has always been just about like showing off games and stuff. So I would be okay if Gamescom became the new like multi-day, everyone goes to at E3 type of thing. But I don't know.
I would drop the last 2 days, to be honest. Like, Okay, I get the first day, which is the best, because they're basically showing off all these awesome trailers and games that are coming, and a lot of them are debuting during that week or even that day. Great. Second day, right? They go more in depth into these games. They talk to the developers, which was great if you're a nerd, right? And you really want to know all about how these games are being developed, what
Hell yeah.
the back end story is, and that's really cool.
Yep.
A3, what the f? It was like a bunch. It was just like a bunch of streaming stuff, and then like people's what do you? Oh my god, I can't even think of it. Cosplay. Sorry, people's cosplay. Like they had cosplay contests. Who's fucking cos? It's like people are cosplaying in their house. That's the lamest thing I've ever heard.
COVID's a weird time, man. But yeah, that's interesting.
So
I didn't really
that
follow Gamescom, so like I wasn't watching the live streams. I kind of just got caught up with it afterwards. But interesting. I'm glad to hear like what it was like to watch live.
I didn't watch it live. I went through it as fast as I possibly can. I watched the first day, and then I 3x'd the second day.
Damn.
And then I just skipped around on the third, and then the fourth day I just read it on a. Okay, so and then you have the awards show, right? Which is great. That's awesome if it's an awards show, but most of the winners haven't even come. The games haven't even come out. So what are you even talking about?
Yeah, that's. I mean, I saw that what Xbox won like most exciting hardware release, like anticipated release, and I'm like, but then apparently Sony didn't even like get the PlayStation 5 as like a nominated. So like, what the fuck was it going up against?
Well,
And
Cyberpunk.
why does it matter?
Like
Oh, Cyberpunk, yeah, wins everything.
Well, but we're talking about an awards show, not the future. Like
It's so
our awards
weird.
season, it shouldn't be the games that came before the awards show. Isn't that what an awards show is?
Well, see, that's a game award show. This is a Gamescom award show. So like, it's all about what happened now, dude. What happens in Gamescom is nominated.
Yeah, but
So it's really weird. I don't get it either.
that's what it is. It's just about the things that happened during the Gamescom. I didn't
Yeah,
get that. That's just
yeah.
weird.
Like,
Okay.
oh, what's the most anticipated game of Gamescom? Oh, Cyberpunk, whatever. And like, it's real. I mean, that's at least that's what I got from on the outside. I didn't watch it, so maybe they actually gave out awards to games that haven't released yet, like Cyberpunk. It's weird. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, no, I mean that's kind of what it seemed like. I went through it pretty fast, so I wouldn't be the best to qualify, but lop that day off.
Jesus.
I mean, literally, why can't you just get away with 2 days? I mean, I guess it's nice for the people that are sitting at home and it's COVID session, but I don't need 4 days of content. And like,
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how much of a networking event that this is. Like, I don't know how similar this is to
well, obviously
GDC.
not this year.
Yeah, that's a good fucking point. Um,
Yeah, it's probably bad to judge something on a COVID year.
yeah, I mean, once this year's over, hopefully COVID follows suit with being over as well. We can just pretend it never happened and move on.
Did you watch the other Gamescoms though in the past?
Oh yeah, I remember. Yeah, I actually cared, and I don't remember them being quite as long, but I also only watched like some of the big shows. Like Xbox has always had a huge Gamescom's presence. Um, I think last year that's when they actually showed off Battletoads for the first time.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, and I don't know if they even did much this year on the Xbox because of the whole new console coming out. Marketing beats are really weird. I don't know. I think Gamescom was just at this weird point, but I mean, third parties kind of went ham. I mean, we had the four big highlights for me were Doom Eternal's new DLC looks
Yeah,
badass,
that
and
was good.
I don't know what it was going on, but there was like some part in the trailer where like you're fighting a guy, and then when he dies, he turns into like a ghost, and then you have to use like a fucking
Yeah, I
Ghostbusters
saw that.
theme.
That's
It
awesome.
looks awesome. Doom Eternal Ghostbusters. Star Wars Squadrons is still looking fantastic.
Well, just Star
Um,
Wars in its presence in Gamescom was insane. Like they had 3 games.
oh really?
Yeah, they had a Sim 4 Batu. I don't know what else it's called, but it's a Sim 4 version for Star Wars, which I think is just awesome.
Oh, interesting.
There was a Lego Star Wars,
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
and then there was Squadrons, which is just like a huge presence for them. Like they actually, I wrote that down. I mean, I'm very excited for the next Star Wars iterations of all these games, especially the Sims one. I haven't thought of Sims 4 forever, and I was like, oh, that might be neat. You know, like running around, build. You get to like build your bunker type thing.
Interesting. Yeah,
Yeah.
I must have missed that one, but yeah,
Yeah.
Squadrons is really. I mean, the UI. I think the big thing for me is the UI. The fact that they have no screen space UI. It's all diegetic. So like
Yeah.
everything is something you need, and the fact that the game is fully supported in VR as well. Like this
Oh, I
might
didn't.
be one of the coolest VR experiences ever because you literally have all of the U. Like you are looking at your ship. Like it's gonna be awesome. I can't wait, and I might
Yeah.
get it on PC just because of VR support. I don't know,
Yeah.
or I'll
Good.
buy it twice. I don't know. The other game that like I didn't even know was coming. I don't know who makes it. The Lemnis Gate game. Did you see
Okay.
that one?
Yes, I did. I
The
did.
turn-based first-person shooter.
Yeah.
Dude,
It's
that sounds fucking awesome.
it's pretty interesting. It's up there because there's actually I was gonna write that because there were quite a few shooters in general, like and unique takes on old franchises, which is it's like I think people are very much this year trying to overtake the large shooter genres. You know, I mean, there was Hyperscope, which is out, which is I think looks really cool too. I don't know if you saw.
Hyperscope.
So Hyperscope came out. It's a battle royale, but it just looks. It reminds me a
Oh, is
lot of
that from
Unreal
Ubisoft?
Tournament. Yeah, it reminds me
Yeah.
so much of Unreal Tournament, and I used to love Unreal Tournament. Just the way that like it's really fast paced. I just love the way it looks. And I'm really excited to play that. The Black Ops thing with is another game that's coming out. Cold War,
I
I think it is.
I did not expect to be excited for that. I'm gonna be honest. Like I've been burnt out on the entire Black Ops franchise for many many years, but the fact that they went I knew like the leaks were apparent for like months that they were going back to Vietnam just like they went back to Modern Warfare like they were just going back which whatever. But it actually looks pretty decent and I'm actually excited because I love Black Ops 1. I thought that was a great game and I never realized that we never really got a sequel to that cuz Black Ops 2 took place in the future. So like I'm really excited to see what they can do and if it's as good as Modern Warfare was then that'll be nice.
Well, what I was curious about because it had Ronald Reagan there. You know, he
Yeah.
pops in, and then you're like, "Holy shit, it's Ronald
Holy
Reagan."
shit, he's going to ruin the economy.
Yeah, we need to kill him and start a economy simulator.
Holy shit, imagine a
Um,
Black Ops timeline. Good God.
but does this mean this is has any truth in this event because they're using real people?
Yeah, I don't know. And that's what really excites me is like with Black Ops 1, the whole story is it's based off of the idea of like there you don't know what is true and what is false because the whole game you're going down the story and then you find out later that it's almost all a lie.
Oh, okay.
So I'm really excited that because they're calling this a direct sequel to Black Ops 1, which Black Ops 2 was, but wasn't at the same time. So this is taking place like right after those events happened, which was really exciting. So I'm hoping that they keep that similar look or that similar feel of a story of like there's always different sides to every argument and history in general. So I don't know.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. It'll be interesting because I'm glad there's all these shooters that I'm excited about. I just there have been a lot of shooters, and of course there's always going to be a lot of shooters, but there's not really that many that I've been like excited about. I always feel like they're rehashes of the same thing, and I think like uh Luna is it Lennis Gate
Lem
Linus
L E
Lennis
M N I S. So
yeah okay
Lemnis, I guess. Yeah.
Lemonis yeah I wrote it but that my N looks like my M looks like an N.
Nice.
Yeah. Anyways, so yeah, Lemonis Gate. It's just nice to see different things, like, or just refined. I don't know. I just feel like we've been seeing the same thing over and over again, in the shooter genre. So
Yeah,
it's
absolutely. Like, and for anybody who hasn't seen the trailer, for one, go watch the trailer. But Lemnis Gate is like, it's like a turn-based game like XCOM, but it's all first person, and you take your turn, like your team, I guess, takes your turn. I don't know if it's multiplayer, single player. I haven't looked too much into it, but you take your turn and you do a course of events, and then it rewinds time, and then the other team takes their turn to try to counteract your move. So it's like XCOM where you move and then they move, but it's first person shooter and it keeps resetting itself, and you're trying to like win in a
Yeah.
set amount of time, which just sounds so cool.
Yeah.
Like nothing. I've never like even think of a game that did that. I mean, there was Time Shift, which was a single player campaign where you had like time travel stuff, but oh, this just sounds so cool.
I can't think of the name of the game, but I used to play this game. But it was top down, and you would it was the same thing where you would take turns, and then it was like chess, but then you could launch rockets, and then you would set up your next moves. But it was definitely a top down game, so it
Hmm.
definitely was. It didn't take the first person perspective. I just can't remember what the hell it is.
And speaking of shooters, I was a little disappointed because it's an Oculus Rift exclusive, which I don't have one, and I wish that VR could just be VR. But Medal of Honor is coming back.
Yeah, I saw that.
It's really interesting because it's being made by Respawn Entertainment, who the founder of Respawn is the guy who invented Medal of Honor Allied Assault, or he was the guy behind the Medal of Honor series, and then left EA to go make the Call of Duty series, and then Call of Duty kicked him out, and then he made Titanfall, and now he's going all the way back to the beginning where he made Medal of Honor again. I just think it's a crazy full circle that he's gone through,
Oh,
and it
nice.
looks awesome. I'm very sad that I don't have an Oculus Rift, so I'll
You
have to
mean
just borrow one from someone. But
so you don't have to sign in with your Facebook account?
yeah, which oh good god, yeah, I forgot no one even wants an Oculus anymore. But
No.
this looks amazing. I mean I think that I love World War II shooters, so VR would be amazing, and it just looks like such a classic Medal of Honor game, the music and everything. It just looks fantastic, but yeah, fuck, I don't want on Oculus.
Well, Medal of Honor I mean, it wasn't as good as Call of Duty, of course, but I mean, for a while it was literally the staple
Yeah,
for,
like
I
Allied
mean,
Assault was phenomenal. I mean, that still has the best D-Day Normandy mission
yeah,
of
I
all
don't know.
time.
Maybe. Call of Duty, when Call of Duty came around, it blew people away.
Yeah, oh yeah, but
The
it
first two Call of Duties were just like blew people away.
yeah, I mean, it
Like,
makes sense because like the guy who made Medal of Honor so great just went to make Call of Duty. So like Call of Duty is just what
wait,
Medal of Honor would have turned into.
so it was he did it early in the process of Call of Duty. He was there at the beginning.
Oh yeah, yeah, he like Vince Zampella is the guy we're talking about.
Bit
He
Sam
was
Pell.
on Medal of Honor Allied Assault Team. That was his game, and he left EA and he went to Activision to invent Call of Duty.
Oh, okay.
So like, yeah,
Yeah.
Call of Duty is literally the same game as Medal of Honor, just newer. Like, of course, it is better in almost every way, just because the same guy was like, "Oh, I'm just gonna keep going."
Well, and the Medal of Honor series just went to shit.
Yeah, no,
I remember
absolutely.
it
It
got
just turned into
really bad. It just
oh my god, just
yeah,
so
it got
many
really
like
bad.
little mini. I don't know what the fuck they did, and then they killed it. And they had like the whole modern take of Medal of Honor just to match up with Modern Warfare, which never really was as good as any other ones. It had some cool multiplayer aspects every once in a while, but then it just turned into a Battlefield clone. It just yeah, it died. And the
Yeah.
fact that the only way they got it back is to bring the same guy back to do it again is funny. But
Well, that's cool. I mean, because I really like the style of those games. Even the first two Call of Duties were way different than
yeah,
Call of Modern Warfare, which was just such a departure from what they were. Um, it had a very dark feel to it that I don't think has been revisited, especially because there was a point where people didn't want to see another World War II shooter game
yeah,
because there were just so many of them, and people were just like, enough. And like, it's good that we're finally going back and saying, okay, let's see another one.
yep. No, actually,
It's long enough.
absolutely. I mean, I think we saw that with like modern shooters too. After World War, we had Modern Warfare, and then we have a billion modern shooters taking place in fighting
Yeah,
the Russians, and then everyone's just like, dude, please stop. And then we made future ones, and then now Modern Warfare comes out again, and we're like, oh, actually, nowadays isn't so bad.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, they definitely do love to kill things, and if it works, if it makes enough money,
Yeah, let's
yeah.
milk it to shit.
So there was another game on here that I thought you would think was pretty interesting. I don't know if you saw it, but Teardown. I wrote
Tear
Spencer's. I wrote Spencer's game. This is the
Really?
because this is the game you and Brady. Brady is a person that we went to school with. We're going to make that was based off of, I believe.
Wait, oh my god, is this
Minecraft.
Blast Wars?
Yeah, because you guys were gonna make the pixelated destroy everything game. Well, they made it. Teardown is that game.
Dude,
It
but
looks
this is like This looks like a brand new blast course from the N64.
Was it?
It
I
totally
never,
looks
I
like.
never played that game, so I
Oh,
don't
dude,
know.
that
But
game literally is you have a truck and you just drive and just destroy the town, and then when you've destroyed everything, you move to the next level.
oh, cool.
This is awesome. Holy shit, you're right. This is wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, so I was like, oh man, this is cool that they're doing this. And it doesn't show a lot like about what's going on, but or like what the purpose of it is. I think you're supposed to doing a heist, is what they said. Like,
Oh,
so it's a heist game, but I don't know how that's going to play out. I mean, they really just showed off the, what do you call that? Pixelation destruction or
voxels.
sub
Yeah.
voxelation? Yeah, yeah, I guess you're right. It is
Oh yeah, that's
voxels.
funny. It's funny you said that because I totally forgot about that entire game idea that Brady and I had like 2, 3 years ago. Because we did not make it. We ditched that because voxel, whatever. It was just not what we wanted to do after a while. But I can't. You just like invented a memory in my brain. That was funny.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah. No,
glad they did it and it looks awesome. Way better than I could have done. So yay.
I mean, it would be really cool for a heist game if they do it
Oh
right. I mean,
yeah.
there's no characters in it, and it's just the. I think it's very early. I don't know when it's supposed to come out, but it definitely doesn't look done.
Well, that's okay.
Says initial release date. What? It's not. It's released.
But no, I saw just 2020 on there.
Yeah, planned release date 2020. Yeah.
Okay, is
Oh,
it in early access or?
yeah, it is in
Yeah.
early access.
Or
But it's listed early access. It's going to be in early access.
I don't know how that works, but sure. Oh, that's cool. I mean, another game that did Destructible that I always liked was the Red Faction series always
Yeah.
did, but the Red Faction, like the new ones that came out, Gorilla and Armageddon, they just phenomenal destruction. The old ones had great, but it was
Well, I mean,
late
they did
early
like
2000s.
load bearing pillars and stuff. They like calculated how much load each pillar was taking and
Oh yeah,
how,
yeah, they went physics with it, where the originals were just like, you can blow up this fucking wall.
that's it's cool. I hope they're happy. I mean, I always thought this would be, and with Crackdown, I thought they were going to do it, but no one. You played Crackdown. I never played it, but
Yeah, that
um,
was over ambitious.
was it too ambitious for them? Because I do want to see like, and maybe heist. What is the you know shoot, their books.
Tom
I almost had
Clancy's.
Tom Clancy's The Heist game.
Oh, the Rainbow Six. Yeah.
Rainbow Six Heist. Okay, so thank
Yeah,
you.
they have destructible environments in there. It's all good.
No, but I mean that's kind of like close to what people have seen, but I don't know. I'd like to see more of it.
Yeah, I mean, well, yeah, Crackdown was definitely just over ambitious, and they showed it way too soon. Because when they showed it off originally, like when they showed the technology of, because their whole thing was cloud computing, so they would have the clouds compute all of the physics behind it, and then you would just get a version of it back, so that you didn't have to do the calculations yourself, which would mean amazing simulation. And they
Yeah,
showed off that in like a tech demo, and then they showed it off like, I'll say quotes, running an engine in the Crackdown game. And then eventually, and then they just stopped talking about that feature for a while, and it did ship. But what shipped was, rather than like a cityscape that actually is destructible, it was a single multiplayer mode that no one plays, and the entire 3D environment looks a bit weird. It's definitely like downgraded, and I don't think they're doing cloud computing on it. So it was just like normal generation
yeah,
destruction simulation. It was, yeah, it just was. The tech is not ready for games, I don't think. So maybe someday, but not in Crackdown 3. Other than that, though, love Crackdown 3. Fantastic game.
yeah. I've been meaning to play it. I really like the Crackdown series minus two.
Yeah, 2 sucks ass.
Yeah, but the first one was it was really really fun. I mean, I enjoyed it a lot.
For me, Crackdown 3 was just like what Crackdown 2 should have been. It's just everything 1 was, but better in almost, in my opinion, every way. There was a lot of complaints with Crackdown 3 that the game, I don't know exactly the complaints, but just it didn't wow people as much. But if you like the Crackdown series, it's a great game in my opinion. If you don't like Crackdown, you're not going to like this game, which should make sense. But I don't know, it's a great game for Crackdown fans.
Yeah, well, I think that the whole element of Crackdown, which I think they recaptured, which they lost in the second one, was just you slowly growing to feel just unstoppable. Like
Oh
when you're
yeah.
jumping from building to building and like being able to cross the entire city in like no time and then just take places out. It just felt really good. Like it felt better than any other game I played, and they kind of lost that in two because I think they had to tone it down because they tried to make it multiplayer,
Yeah,
and then
definitely.
and that kind of made it problematic. And then which I don't know if I still would just love to play online multiplayer in Crackdown 1. And we still haven't gotten that. I mean, I think it would be really entertaining to be able to have that that
Yeah.
kind of feel and then have it be online multiplayer. But
I mean, I think you can play the single player with people cooperatively in Crackdown 3.
yeah, in 3 you
Which
can.
it feels just like it feels just like Crackdown 1. It is such a great game, and
I'll have to get
yeah, I highly 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 recommend to anybody to just go play that game. It's on Game Pass. So if you have Game Pass, which we talk about a lot here, it's there.
yeah,
The
yeah.
multiplayer I would not recommend. It's like, but
Well, I mean, I'm sure the servers are still running.
yeah, definitely. The servers are definitely still running. Can confirm.
Yeah, so I mean, other than this, there was Destiny 2 news. I don't really know what this all means, so I was hoping you could fill me in. I don't know what the Beyond Light, the stasis. What the hell is a
Yeah, so
stasis?
I mean, so yeah, Destiny. It's pretty. I'm hoping this is an exciting time for Destiny. I feel like I say that every year, and then after 3 months, it's not exciting time. But I really feel like this year is an exciting time to be into Destiny 2. So they're adding the Beyond Light expansion, which is one of the first expansions that we're seeing. Not to get too involved in the lore, but a big new enemy is starting to approach the Destiny universe that they've been teasing since before Destiny even came out. So it's kind of a big moment for people fans of the universe. And then the other thing they're adding is a new element. So since 2013 or 14, whenever Destiny released, we've had arc damage, solar damage, and void damage. So now they're adding stasis damage, which is kind of like an ice damage. So we're getting new supers, like an entire new pillar to the sandbox, pretty much is a way of looking at it. So
Okay.
it's a big deal. They delayed it to November. It should, I mean, technically it would have been out like in a week from now, but they delayed it, which is fine. So I'm very excited for that. Yeah.
Good. Yeah, I mean, it's interesting that they're reigniting because you don't think a 3 is going to come out.
They said they won't. Which
Really?
okay,
So they're
so
they're they're
I
holding
don't
on.
understand. I don't understand. I get it, but I don't get it. So what I get is that they don't want to reset people because Destiny 1 to 2 you had to reset people, and like if you're gonna put a 3 on there, like it's a new box, it's a new experience, and there's probably gonna be some resetting that you have to do. So I get that aspect of things. But then in the last big stream that Bungie put out, they said here's the next 3 years of Destiny, and they announced all three expansions for the next 3 years, which is
So they're
exciting.
they're doing a World of
Um,
Warcraft. They're going World of Warcraft on
Yeah,
us.
and they're keeping Destiny 2. So like I want them to go World of Warcraft with this. I just wish that they wouldn't call it Destiny 2 anymore. Cuz like with World of Warcraft, they have the ability that it's just World of Warcraft. There's no 2, it's just World of Warcraft. And I think that the problem that I have with it is like a lot of people don't play Destiny 2 because Destiny 2 had a horrible launch and they're never like they just don't get over that idea of like, well, Destiny 2 was a really bad game, it can't be that much better now. And it just feels like a giant thing to get into right now. And they're like, "Oh, do I have to play the first one?" Where I just wish that they would find a way to just say it's Destiny and just kick the 2 out of the name, but they won't do that either, so
Yeah, but
I don't
here's
know.
the other thing. I mean, like, and I couldn't even imagine what it's like to be a World of Warcraft developer, because it's like anything. Like now you have legacy code, which is like what we deal with all the time. In computer science, is it's like you have to consider people that are using old code bases and and so it's like with World of Warcraft, it's like if you change the core concept of stuff, now you have to update the other worlds, like because now all the world, like you have to be able to cross over into all the different regions that still exist for the other packs that came out. And
Oh my god, Cody, we're going to full circle this podcast right now. You're going to be blown away. So,
do it.
we talked about Disney putting things in the vault and Nintendo's doing the same thing. Well,
Yeah.
Destiny also announced that. So what they're doing is that because they don't want a new game, there's limits to how much data you can put on a game on Xbox and PlayStation. So they're running out of room. So they're doing is they're calling it the Destiny Vault, where they take content from Destiny 2, like whole planets and story missions, and they remove them and put them in the vault so that the game isn't a billion gigabytes. And then they just take things out of the vault every once in a while, and then they're putting things from Destiny 1 into the vault and porting
Interesting.
it into Destiny 2.
You know what? This is
So,
actually a great idea because it takes care of what I was talking about. Because if it goes in the vault, now you can tweak it, you can
exactly.
change it, you can update it, and then once it comes back out, it's all updated and fresh and ready to go.
Yeah, so and
It's amazing.
it's great because yeah, you got to this point, and right now in Destiny, it's a little overwhelming. There's a ton of planets and tons of things to do, and strikes that you're like, I've done this strike a billion times. Can I just do a different one? So now they're like, okay, well, we're just gonna make it to where we have a rotating amount of things, and there's always the new thing, but then there's some old things. And I love that they went back all the way to Destiny 1 and decided, hey, let's bring things back from there and put it in the vault. So they're also doing the vault thing, and I think it's a phenomenal thing that they're doing, and I think that that is going to help Destiny moving forward. I just wish it wasn't called Destiny 2, but that's a personal preference.
Yeah, I mean, whatever.
I just
Just
want I guess it's not a problem. It's just everybody who played Destiny 2 at launch, just give it another chance. I'm begging you. It's a lot better of a game right now, and it's going to
yeah.
get a lot better. So I just give the game a second chance, or a third one if you came back a year later and realized it's still not fixed.
I only played the beta.
The Destiny 1 beta or the Destiny 2 beta?
The Destiny 2 beta
Damn.
and the
Yeah.
Destiny 1 beta. I played both.
Yeah, I still remember Destiny 1's beta. It was a good time.
I played Destiny 1's
So much
beta.
unknown.
I played Destiny 2's beta also. Yeah, and I never played the full games.
I've
I don't
played
know.
so much of those games.
My biggest problem with Destiny games is I'm much more of a headshot person. I like insta kill, one hit, kind of
Yeah.
experiences. I don't like to dump a whole bunch of ammunition into an enemy.
Yeah,
I
don't
know
like bullet sponges either.
well, you know what it is? It's very much an MMO style, and I never really liked MMOs because of that. I don't want to sit around and like hit keys and watch my character do stuff. I like the accuracy and the precision of games. I don't want to actually. I don't really play RTSs, which it feels like an RTS. It's like you have to do these things in a certain order, and if you don't do them in an order, you should be hitting this at 3 seconds. You should be hitting this at 5 seconds.
That's exactly how I feel. But like Destiny's the only game that's gotten me to be okay with it. Other than that, though, yeah, that's why, like you just said, that's why I don't play RTSs. That's why I don't play MMOs. Not that that's a bad thing. Like it's not like it's bad game design or anything. Like some people do enjoy that. It's just not for me.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think that it's very successful for those reasons because it is good and people like to be able to multitask. And I think that's what it is. It's an engagement in multitasking and also just kind of planning ahead while you're multitasking at the same time.
Yeah.
Which is good. I do that all day, but I don't need it.
Do you have a sink running in the background or something? You got a little bit of static going.
Yeah. We got a cooker in the kitchen.
Oh, that's all good. It's not awful. I'm just making sure it was not like static.
It's onions, and it's getting in my throat.
Cody's dying on podcast, guys.
Yeah, well, that means good mic picked it up. Yeah, I wasn't sure if I was going to pick it up or not, but anyways, yeah. So I don't know. I mean, I'll give it a shot. I'll give it a shot. The other one that I'm really excited, which I love that I waited on these certain games that are coming out with new content, is Outer Wilds.
Outer Wilds. Oh, wait, Outer Worlds.
Outer Worlds. Sorry,
Gotcha.
There was an Outer Wilds, wasn't there?
There is.
Yeah. Sorry. Outer Worlds. Yeah, Outer Worlds. Because I never got to play that, and I'm just excited that they're putting new content into that game as well.
Absolutely, I love that. As a Fallout fan, it was fantastic, and it is starting to. The Obsidian Entertainment is starting to turn into the fuck you Bethesda entertainment company because everything that they do is what Bethesda does, but they just do it better. And they're coming out with a new Avowed RPG that's just it looks like it's going to be very Elder Scrollsy in that same timeline, and it's an Obsidian RPG, so of course it's going to be like that. So I'm very glad that game is getting DLC. It's very well deserved. The game was a little short, so that's good.
Well, and it was hella broken.
Yeah, just like always.
Yeah, so I know they fixed all that stuff, but I remember like you could beat the game in like 5 minutes or something.
Yeah.
ridiculous like that. I don't remember the exact time, but yeah, good old broken games. But yeah, I mean, I'm. It's nice that these like it's perfect for the Christmas season because I feel like now these huge games that we can go back and experience a little bit more, or for those that want to play more of or play it for the first time, I think it's a good thing. I think my problem with Destiny
What?
is the things they talk about are confusing for someone who hasn't played the game.
Yeah.
Like when other games get expansions, I get it. Like I watch the thing and I understand what's going on and I like it gets me excited about playing it. It's got some storyline thing that I understand. But like I don't know what the fuck stasis is. I don't know what these light things are. It's like it just the whole thing is it's very muddy in because it's like they're advertising to the players that are already playing it.
And see, that's I feel like that they just I think that that is probably a problem internally of like how do we get new people to play Destiny, because again, you're not coming out with that new box. That's the easiest way to get new people. Is like, hey, new game, new expansion is hard to ship, and that's why like I think that that's why they're going with the approach of it's like cross-platform and it's on Game Pass now. And if you have Game Pass, you get all of the expansions, not the season passes, but you get all the expansions for free. I mean, Game Pass subscription. So I think that they're doing their best right now, and I think that there probably is a focus in the future. But I totally agree with you. As someone who is involved in the Destiny community, sometimes I just don't get involved for like a month, and I feel like I'm really behind. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But as if you do know what's going on, it's super rewarding, and they're doing great. Like every time I go on, I'm like, wow, Destiny's so much better now. How could I have liked it before? It's just, and yeah, a lot of the things that they've been doing and that they're doing with this new expansion is just fantastic.
Yeah,
So
yeah. I guess if it's on streaming services, then it will be easy for people to pick up and play.
yeah, I mean, it's on Stadia. It's gonna be on XCloud. It's on Game Pass. So
Yeah. So I guess that'll change the way that because free games do well. I don't know if it will be free, but that's what they.
so they have a free. So they because
Yeah.
Destiny 2 came out, and I can't remember that came out in 2017, I think. Yeah, 2017. So the game's 3 years old now. God, I feel like it came out sooner. But anyways, the game's 3 years old now. So the first year of content and maybe the first second year is completely free to people, and then the online competitive multiplayer is also completely free to people. Um, so there is a free version to get into it. So that's the nice thing with Destiny is like it is free on every platform to get involved into the game. There's a lot of shit to do as free, and then they're working really hard with this expansion to make it to where they're solving this issue where when you join in and your buddies are like, hey, you should play Destiny with us, and then you join in and then it takes you like 50 hours just to get to their level just so you can play with what they want to do. They're fixing a lot of that to where if you join in and you get the game to play with your buddies and they're all above you because they play for 1,000 hours like me, you can just jump in and play with them right from the get-go, which is very great. So like they're trying their best to get this game easily for new people, but they got a lot going against them if they're going to keep it as Destiny 2.
I don't know. I mean, I guess again, like we've seen this so many times where there are free games, whether they be MOBAs or whatever. If they're on a platform where you can easily access them and you already have it, it's people gravitate towards free.
Yeah, no,
Like
absolutely.
it's insane how games that will be able to have huge followings just because they're free. I can't think of that. What is that sword and gun game? Shoot.
Sword and
Don't
gun
worry about
game.
it. Yeah, sword and gun game.
Yeah,
But
I don't know.
like anyways, it doesn't matter. It's on Steam, and it's free. Okay, let's move on.
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess the only other thing that from the show was I guess they showed was that new stuff from Ratchet and Clank? I couldn't figure out if it was
Oh
new.
my god. It
It
was
was new
half
stuff.
new. It was extended demo from what
So
they showed off originally.
okay, thank you. Because I was like, wait, am I seeing the same thing? And then after I
Yeah.
was watching it for a while, I'm like, this looks new. And then
Yeah,
I was confused. I was like, is this the same or is it new? I was like, what the hell's going on?
yeah, the last like minute or the last like 2-3 minute, like I think a half of it was new. The other half was just kind of tying it in. But oh my god, that looks phenomenal. That is the first game right now that I've looked at and go, yeah, that is a next gen title.
Well, you know what it is? It's like, and this is kind of what I mean. Obviously, yeah, being able to load different worlds, but what I think I like about it is that they're small spaces. So it's not like I felt like this in some Ratchet and Clank games where the levels go like they just feel like too long and like I don't care anymore. Where the engagements just take too long to get into. But I feel like this one, it's like you're jumping from arena to arena, so you get these like small like mini. It's almost like like mini games or a variety show of like different things because like you'll be fighting and then you'll jump through the rift and then you'll be like on rails, like going down the
Yeah.
rails, and then like you jump through the rift, and then you're doing something else, and then you jump through the rift, and you're doing something else. So it's like they can throw stuff at you constantly, which makes it seem amazing.
Yeah, and I think that the thing that really made me feel like, okay, this is why I want to get the next gen consoles, is the game just felt so alive compared to so many other games. Like, there's just so many little NPCs running around and like particles and things just getting destructive, but it's still in the world, and like you're just navigating through crowds, and then when you go through all those portals, there's just like cars drive. Like, there's
Yeah,
just so much shit happening to where the world actually feels like you're in an actual world. Like, I'm thinking about like a lot of the old, like, yeah, the old Ratchet and Clank games and other games that do like are a similar style,
like
and like,
Jackson Daxter.
yeah, and I'm like, okay, if I were to jump into that rail grind thing, like I'm thinking like with Sonic Adventure 2, which that's an older game, but like when you did the grinding, like the grinding rails, it was just like a 3D environment with not a lot of detail and not a lot of shit going on, and then you would just kind of grind through it, but it kind of looked nice. But this is just like, it felt like a movie. It was just phenomenal looking. I'm
Yeah.
very, very impressed, and I now that that got pushed to be a launch title, I definitely want to get a PlayStation 5 if there's availability, of course.
Well, they just did you sign up for it?
No, I haven't signed up. I have not signed up to have an ability to pre-order it yet. No.
The email, the sign up for the email to notify you when it's.
Yeah, which I'm wondering because I wonder if they're not going to go through third-party retailers for the PS5 because at least at the beginning, because I know that stock will be limited because of COVID. But Sony, oh, excuse me. Sony has had a history of removing their content from like Amazon um, that they don't want to sell, like their physical games. I know there was like a point in 2018 where you couldn't buy God of War or Spider-Man through Amazon. You just had to go somewhere else. It was weird. So I
Yeah.
don't know, and I don't. I mean, I know with Amazon they don't charge you until ship, which is always nice. But I don't know if Sony will do that same thing or what they're doing with this whole thing, and they still haven't announced the price. Xbox hasn't announced the price, or the other console that everyone has rumored out the ass is in existence. So
What? Oh, what are you
the
saying?
the smaller Xbox,
Oh,
like
the
the
Xbox
like the
S, yeah,
Series S,
or the
yeah, which
Series
like
S.
every day I swear someone's like, "There's new info about it." I'm like, "It's the same info, but whatever."
Yeah,
It's just
yeah.
it's to the point where like everyone knows it's a thing. It just Microsoft won't admit it, and we're just like, dude, is it really gonna hurt you that bad if you just tell us it's real?
Well, and also the other thing is like I guess they're holding on to God of War, which seems like the next thing that's going to be announced. From what I get hearing of, is like that's a possibility for this year as well.
That I don't. So what? God of War came out in
Yeah. Well, no, people are
20.
projecting that to happen, and I don't. So I don't know. Like the behind the scenes people, when I read stuff, it's like
I don't
possibly going
know.
to be an
That was
announcement,
28. That's only 2 years development. I don't think.
or
I
maybe they'll do they'll show a preview of it or something. I don't
Yeah,
know.
no, I definitely think they'll announce it, but I don't think it'll be this year. That would be unbelievable. But yeah.
Yeah.
And I think especially because with Ratchet and Clank being a big launch title and Miles Morales, like now I'm okay with the launch lineup of the PS5. It's definitely not like holy shit amazing, but at the same time Xbox delayed Halo Infinite, so now Xbox has like nothing. Um,
That's
I don't
true.
know. The 2020 sucks pretty much.
Yeah, but
That's the
I
big
can
issue.
remember so many consoles that it was that way. I mean,
Yeah, I
that
mean
the
360 didn't have like they had what Perfect Dark Zero,
ugh, it
Forza
had
3, baby.
was the yeah, I guess those were the two big games, weren't they?
Yeah, there was another one that I just can't remember right now. But Gears of War wasn't until
Was
like
it
a year
was
later too.
Knack? I think Knack was
Knack
out.
was on the PS4, yeah.
Oh, that was the PS4. You're right.
Yeah.
Um,
No, I mean, yeah, console launch has never been great. So, like, what Xbox One had. Okay, I love Rise, Son of Rome, but it wasn't a great game, but I just
oh,
liked
you're
it.
right. That was a launch title, wasn't it?
Dead Rising 3 was also their launch title, and then Forza 5. Those were the three big for Xbox. And then Sony had Killzone, Shadowfall, Knack, and Infamous Second Son.
which was terrible.
And they were supposed to have the order, but that got delayed and it was bad. But yeah, so I think that was all of their launch. So yeah, I'm not expecting. It was kind of surprising that Halo was going to launch on the console. Like that was huge, but it didn't. So
Yeah, that's okay.
yeah,
Um,
I'll see if Xbox has an answer because right now there's no like, from my knowledge, there's no Xbox first party game that's shipping on the new console, which I imagine is not ideal, and they're probably panicking a little bit. But we'll see what they have up their sleeves.
well, I mean, maybe it'll allow them for more concessions to give to, if they allow people that buy the console to get streaming or whatever. Their streaming card is pretty big. I mean, they do have the better streaming service
Yeah.
currently, which is nice. I don't think that you need the hardware for that, but that's to be debated. I don't know what other games are coming out.
I mean, yeah. So I mean, Xbox has the advantage of, well, price is going to be a huge factor here. But I mean, they have the advantage where they have Game Pass, and if you buy the Xbox, it's probably going to run third-party games better than the PS5. It's just a more powerful machine. So like games like Cyberpunk and Call of Duty, they're gonna probably play a little bit better on the new consoles, but I don't know how much better. And that's not enough. Like that's not like Sony where they're like, look at us, we have Ratchet and Clank. So
Yeah, yeah. I'm trying to look up what the current, other than the Master Chief is all over everything.
yeah, he is.
No, can't do it.
That's all
Yeah,
right. Well, it's a good place to stop. Hopefully, this next week we'll have crazy news. I mean, we're running out of time. We're 2 months away from a usual launch window for a console, and we still don't know the price, and we still don't know about this mysterious console that totally exists.
yeah. I mean,
So,
whatever. It doesn't really matter how it comes out. It's
no.
just nice that they're having two different consoles for different prices.
Yeah.
But whatever. All right, so yeah, we will definitely be on time next week.
Yes.
And so see you. You can tune in on Monday if anyone gives a shit.
Monday at 6 on YouTube.
Yeah, Monday at 6. All right. Thank you, everybody. Talk to you next time.
All right.
All right.